Welcome to another edition of Torah Moments with Gordon. This portion is titled Vayera. It is found in Genesis chapters 18 through 22. There is a lot in this portion, and I could spend months or more pulling it all out, so I'm going to focus on the opening event of this portion. But first, just let me say, one of my goals in these videos has been to keep them non-controversial. This will be one of a few exceptions to this goal. Many see in Genesis 18 what is called a theophany. Others see a Christophany. A theophany is a visible manifestation to mankind of God or a God. A Christophany is an instance of the pre-incarnate Messiah making an appearance to humanity. But is this passage saying that either of these two occurred? A superficial reading of the text may lead some to believe that, especially if that's what they've already believed. However, we cannot approach the study of any biblical text with preconceived beliefs. We must never read into the text our preconceived beliefs. We must look at the context, not only of the immediate passage, but within the context of all Scripture. No passage in the inspired Word will ever contradict another. If it seems to, we are either misunderstanding it or it is not a part of the inspired Word of Yah. And let me just clarify, I am not saying this passage is not part of the Almighty's inspired Word. To understand the Scriptures properly, we must ask ourselves certain questions regarding the text, such as who wrote it, who did they write it to, how would these individuals have understood what was written? Are there any other texts that will help us understand it? Without having a proper answer to these questions, we will be prevented from properly understanding the text. We must also approach any study of Scripture with the goal of determining what the text says, rather than whether we can use it to back up our already held beliefs. We can back up just about any belief we have through a use or misuse of Scripture. These guidelines are not always easy or comfortable to follow. Sometimes they will be quite difficult to follow, but follow them we must. The Scriptures are quite clear that no one has seen Yah and lived. So if Abraham saw this being, it could not have been Yah. So there is no theophany. The Scriptures, as I have come to understand them, speak of a pre-existent Messiah as pre-existing in the plan of the Almighty, rather than literally. So, no Christophany. Who were these three men then? I propose two possibilities that do not violate any Scripture. One is one commonly held among Jews, that is, Abraham was having a conversation or praying with or to the Almighty, and later with the three men who appeared to him, later going back and forth between Yah and the men. It is explained that Abraham prays to the Almighty answers his prayers by sending three messengers to him, and Abraham then holds a conversation with the Almighty at times, and at other times with the leader of the men whom the Almighty sent to Abraham. The second, and possibly better explanation, is one held by some students of the Word, and I tend to lean toward this one. In this scenario, Abraham is praying to the Almighty, and in answer to Abraham's prayer, the Almighty sends three messengers to Abraham to give the answer to Abraham's prayer. One of these three men, these three messengers, has been appointed by Yah to speak on his behalf, that is, on behalf of Yah, as his agent. And when a person speaks as an agent of another, they speak the words of the one sending them, as if they were the ones sending them as their agent with their authority. So you see that there are at least two ways of understanding this passage without violating any scripture and without the necessity of a theophany or a Christophany. Until next time, Shalom Uvracha, peace and blessings as you seek out the ways of the Almighty given to us in His Word.